is that we take on board what has been said and respect people's rights. Now we're going to move...
Yeah, sorry, one point of order.
I don't want to enter into further
Yeah,
discussion.
and I want to say that I was, at the time, my numbers don't go to 42. I was getting a rapid translation. I apologise for the fact that I got it so badly wrong.
Thank you. Right, we're on to Hilary Calvert's amendment to clause 18.3 as set out on SOP number 214. This has been ruled out of order as being inconsistent with the previous decision to omit clause 3. Next amendment in Hilary Calvert's name to clauses 19 and 20. This is ruled out of order. The next Minister's amendment to omit, this is the Minister's amendment to omit and substitute clause 21 as set out on SOP number 207. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. The ayes have it. Ayes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
Act New Zealand.
5 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
Toko whai tautukuana.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Kore au I whakai.
Members, the ayes are 62, the noes are 59. The amendment is agreed to. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 21 as set out on SOP 214 is out of order as being inconsistent with the previous decision. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clauses 22, 23, 24 and 25 are out of order. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 26.1, 2, 2A and B are out of order. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert, amendment to clauses 26.2, B1 and 2 as set out on SOP 214. The question is that the amendments be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. No. The noes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
9 votes opposed.
Act New Zealand.
5 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
Toko whai whakaheana.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Ka hore au I whakai.
Members, the ayes are 5, the noes are 116. The amendment is not agreed to. The point of order, Materia Ture.
Excuse me, Mr Chair. I seek leave of the House to make a correction to the Green Party votes on this part. The correction being to change the number from 9 to 8 votes opposed.
Are we referring to...
For all votes taken...
All votes taken on part 2?
Yes, sir.
We can accept that. Yeah, just correct the vote. Yes, we will correct the vote accordingly. Thank you for that. No, we need... sorry, I stand corrected. We need leave because you're changing the vote. So leave is sought to change the votes from 9 to 8. Is there any objection to that course of action? There is no objection. Thank you. The next amendment in the Minister's name to omit subclause 3 of clause 26 as set out on SOP number 207. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Point of order, Darren Hughes.
Mr Chairman, I'm just wanting to seek some clarification. I see it's come now to 6 o'clock. Are you proposing to put all the votes because we've now started at that point?
Yes, because we moved into committee stage on a closure motion, and on a closure motion the voting continues regardless of the time.
Point of order, sir.
Point of order, the Honourable Darren Hughes.
That's absolutely my understanding of it, and so you're right to do that course of action. The difficulty will be is that a number of members will be out of the building over the dinner break, and so if whips are going to cast votes, we need to have certainty that that is correct, and so it may be useful to draw the attention to party whips to advise their members not to leave the building, because without wishing to in any way cast aspersions, if members in the complex have not been following proceedings and are leaving, then we can't have confidence in the party votes.
I'll hear Chris Tremaine.
Thank you for that advice. I was well aware that this may be the process, so 10 minutes ago we made it very clear to our members that we'd be voting through.
I thank the member. Look, I will take the whip's word that the votes that they cast are accurate votes, and we will leave it at that. I'm sure that will satisfy everybody. We're now on the order, please. We're still voting. We're on the Minister's amendment to omit subclause 3 of clause 26 as set out on SOP number 207. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. No. The ayes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
7 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
4 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
Toko whai tautoko ana.
Progressive.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Ka hore au I whakai.
Members, the ayes are 62, the noes are 56. The amendment is agreed to. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 26.3 as set out on SOP 214 is out of order as being inconsistent with the previous decision. We now have another amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 26.4 and 5. This is ruled out of order. We now have the Minister's amendment to clause 27.1 as set out on SOP number 207. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. No. The ayes have it. The ayes have it. Party vote, please. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes in favour.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
7 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
4 votes opposed.
Māori Party.
Toko whai tautoko ana.
Progressive.
1 vote opposed.
United Future.
1 vote in favour.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Ka hore au I whakai.
Members, the ayes are 62, the noes are 56. The amendment is agreed to. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 27.5 as set out on SOP number 216. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. No. The noes have it. The noes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
7 votes opposed.
ACT New Zealand.
4 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
Toko whai tautoko ana.
Progressive.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Ka hore au I whakai.
Point of order, Te Ura Flappy.
My apologies. Toko whae whakahea ana. Ro mai, sorry about that.
Members, the ayes are 4, the noes are 114. The amendment is not agreed to. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 28(1)A is set out on SOP 214. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Those of that opinion will say aye. Aye. Contrary will say no. The noes have it. Party vote. I'll ask the clerk for a party vote.
New Zealand National.
57 votes opposed.
New Zealand Labour.
42 votes opposed.
Green Party.
7 votes opposed.
Act New Zealand.
4 votes in favour.
Māori Party.
Toko whae whakahea ana.
Progressive.
1 opposed.
United Future.
1 vote opposed.
Honourable Chris Carter.
1 vote opposed.
Hone Harawira.
Kore au e whakae.
Any other votes?
Members, the ayes are 4, the noes are 114. The amendment is not agreed to. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 28(1)B is out of order. The next amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause 28(1)C is out of order. The next... A point of order.
Mr Chair, I've been following your rulings on out of order, and I can understand why some of these have been ruled out of order. But I'm rather surprised that the second of the amendments that of Hilary Calvert's to clause 1C, where she asks that and passengers be omitted and replaced with passengers and other goods or persons, that seems to me the addition of the words goods changes the meaning of that alteration.
Well, we're not on that one.
You've just said
I said we're on 28(1)C. Of SOP 214. That's the one that you're querying. We haven't got to the one that you're mentioning.
Well, there are actually 2 on 1C, sir, and I'm speaking to the second...
No. Well, I haven't put that one yet. No. Now, in the format in front of us, we're talking about Hilary Calvert's amendment to 28(1)C to omit and substitute crew equipment for equipment and crew, as set out on SOP number 214. That is out of order. The one that you're referring to is the next one, and we haven't got to that one yet. All right?
Mr Chair, I absolutely understand that, and so can I simply ask that when you rule amendments in or out, you go on to refer in a bit more detail, because you earlier ruled out Hilary Calvert's amendment to clause 1B, and she actually had 2 of them. And when you said we rule out amendments to clause 1B, effectively what you are doing is you're ruling both of them out together. So when you stand, sir, and rule out the amendments to clause 1C, we don't know here at this end of the House we are ruling out one or both. And what I was seeking to clarify, Mr Speaker, it seemed to me that the amendment to clause 1C was perfectly reasonable, which you've now agreed it is, because you're prepared to take a vote on it.
Yeah. Well, the previous 28(1)C is out of order. And we're now moving to the one that you're referring to, which is a further amendment to 28(1)C. So the question is that the amendment in the name of Hilary Calvert to clause...
Read it in full.
I'm going to read it in full, all right? The Hilary Calvert's amendment to clause 28(1)C to omit and passengers and substitute passengers and any other goods or persons. The amendment to subclause 1D to omit for a convenient time, and the amendment to subclause 1E to omit temporarily, set out on SOP 214. The question is that the amendment be agreed to. Point of order.
I ask, why are you taking the vote on each of those amendments separate as one motion, when previously you've taken the vote on those amendments amendment clause by clause? Now, I realise that the Minister can ask for his amendments he put as a one SOP, but Hilary Calvert is entitled to have her amendments treated individually.
These are a good question. These are all related together.